Okay, guys, this is something crazy. I only have 3 minutes. I'm just gonna get right into it. I just learned something new, and I thought it was something. I don't know, but to make it 3 minutes short, I just recently found out. I did my research that yoga is demonic. It opens demonic portals. Um, I just learned, not just learned, but in my awakening process, I was deceived. I had stage. I used to like this store called East Meets West. Mm-mm. Don't go to that store. I mean, you do what you want. I'm not going to tell you what not to do, but just know that that store is demonic and it's all witchcraft. Crystals, the crystals make look so pretty, and they tell you it brings you good luck and good fortune, positive energy. All of that are deceiving, and like these witches come, they look pretty, right? And they come nice and common, and it's so they have this presence and this about them, like, everything is good. Yeah, buy this. Yes, and for us who don't know, like, who really doesn't know the word of God in the Bible, we can you can be easily fall into it. On top of that, when you buy gems and all that, that's all demonic. That is the God of this world is a genius. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Yoga, you got eats. They have all these stores, right? Right? But no one's questioning them, right? And then you have people burning stage. They said that to fill up their room, the aroma. Stage ain't gonna do nothing. It's just not gonna bring no good luck. It's not gonna cleanse your house. You're gonna smoke it. It might give a good aroma, but it has nothing to do. It's not even mentioned in the Bible. They mention witchcraft. You know what they do? They stone them to death. People, they found witches in here. They are stoned because it's not their worshiping not the God that created us. Okay, the God that created man from dust, who created the sun and the moon and the stars. Okay, that is not so. Buddhism, demonic, right? Yoga, demonic. Crystals, stage, demonic. People will say weed is demonic because you're burning it and it's a type of witchcraft. It's only 3 minutes, um, and also, I just had to quick, and I didn't even put no tags because a lot of these tags and stuff like that, yeah, it's just to get more people to notice. But this time that I'm serious, I'm not worried about the tags or whatever. I just need to get this information out. And I just learned, so think twice when you go to these stores. Um, I was listening to someone's testimony that I've been following for many years on Facebook, and I was wondering why the sudden change. I understand why now. Higher self, I was saying higher self. I believe that's also demonic, and I don't want to say too much wrong thing because I'm in this journey. And I this book, please, if anything, read Psalms 91, read Psalms 103, and read Psalms 23. By far, those are the three Psalms I read every night out loud. Out loud. I project it out loud so they can hear me. Every night I read those three passages from Psalms 91, Psalms 23, and Psalms 103. I read all of them. Okay. This is has been my shield and buckler. This has been my light, my source, and everything. I just, again and again, I wish I had read this sooner, because it really touched my life. It really touched what I was going through, and it's really touching what's going around in this world today. Today, and this book's been out for only God know how long. And I just I'm just blown away because I used to practice witchcraft back in high school. I used to be into all of that, but I didn't know the significance behind it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just, and the thing is that at the age of 6, I believe I was cursed then because at my childhood house, I lived in Jersey. Um, my when we had this house, we had a basement. The basement wasn't finished at that time. I was 6, so the basement was all cemented with, the beams to support the flooring for the top floor, whatever, cement. But I never liked going to the basement because every time I open up the door, I will see red, yellow eyes, just eyes staring at me. And sometimes I will have to swallow my fear so I can get my bike. But most of the time, I ask my dad to get my bike. I go to 3 minutes. Okay, so I don't know what happened, but anyway, every time I did that, um, I I will ask my dad to get the bike. He'll get it for me, and that's the only reason why I would go downstairs because I want to ride my bike around and ride my bike, and they kept my father kept me and my brother's bikes downstairs, our bikes. Everybody had a bike. My mom, my dad, me, my brother, we all had bikes. So when I went to this is before social media internet. This is when like Earthlink was just starting to come around, or the first computer. This is long ago. But I got when I but when I wanted to get the bike and my father wasn't around, I had to carry my own bike. I had to like think like, all right, I really want to go outside. Take a deep breath, and I would go in the basement, open up. The eyes will be there. Something when the eyes are there, I don't go down. I shut the door really tight, and I'll just like, I'll come back later. But every time I saw those eyes, they put fear into me, and I didn't understand why I was seeing those eyes. And I never voiced that I saw eyes, right? I never voiced it. I really kept it to myself. And at the time, you know, um, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, that was all a thing. I was into all of that at the age of 6. I know I watching this, so I don't know. Like maybe that was the influence, like me getting older. Like maybe that was my mind being influenced, but no. But when I went to bed, I had a fear of the darkness. I had a nightlight and keep my door open, but times I would hear heavy breathing or hovering on me. So I will put the blanket over my head and I will hear heavy breathing over me or in whispers in my ears, like, and I'm just like, what is going on? I just put, and so I will duck under my blanket in my bed like this, and I'm just like, and I do like heavy, heavy breathings. And I didn't know what was going on at the time. I was just like, why am I hearing these voices? But I never voiced it. So as I got older, this is me in middle school now. Um, I used to see things like I used to tell people like I used to identify people's homes without being in them. I had to now at the age of 37 of finding the Lord of Jesus Christ. Oh man, thank you for saving me. That's demonic. That was the demons sending. So moving forward, I didn't know. So this person was named Pamela, and her mother was named Faye, right? Faye. Um, so Pamela was our babysitter, right? And we will go from the bus stop. She will make sure we get off the bus together and we walk to her house. It was only a block. And in the house, as soon as you walk in, there's a door on the right side that leads to the basement. The basement is finished, but it was dim. And she will have like three pop up cribs in the floor. So it would be me and two other siblings. And then a box TV, one of those brown box TV, and Montel will be on. But the daughter would abuse me, and she would choke me. She would like pinch me, and her mother knew what was going on, and she didn't care. We will get bologna sandwich with ketchup. That was her lunch. and that would be it. I didn't really like it, but that was the only thing we had, so we had to eat it. Faye was very crafty. She would, during the holidays, she would make us things to make the parents believe that, she was good. Oh, here are gifts and everything. And so she would make things for for the kids that she was babysitting. And the daughter was abusing us. The babies that were in the cribs, they were all over the place. They would pick their poo and throw it on the floor. So I had to be in there with that. And we wasn't allowed to do anything. We was not allowed upstairs. We was not allowed to use the bathroom until our parents picked up. There was no bathroom in the basement, and everything. And she had two poodles, and she served her husband supper, because that's what she called it, supper. And it was always like tomato soup or something with toast. And but she will make these dolls, these blankets, like crochet or knit or whatever, all these stuff to make. She make pillows and that. She was very crafty, very good at what she did, but didn't care of the abuse. And her daughter would abuse me. She just, one time I had a toy, pink toy, sewing machine, right? And she broke my toy, and she was like, she broke my toy, took the batteries out. And it was the only sewing, because I always wanted a sewing machine, one of those toy sewing machines. She broke it. She broke it, and I couldn't voice. And I told my parents like this, but at that time, they had to work, so there was no for us to go, like, to pick us up after school. After, they didn't have after school at that. They had a babysitter. So long story short on that part, goes to find out, years down the line, I was told, my father told me later. So years down the line, that they found Faye to be, um, other parents started to complain about their children being abused. This is years ago, and I didn't know. So other parents were complaining, and I guess other kids were complaining years after this. I wasn't going there anymore, but he had told me as an adult, like in my 20 years of life at that time, that yes, she got accused, but she ran town. Like, she, before they can do an investigation, because she had a lot of complaints. Before they do an investigation, they skip town. Pamela and Faye. I will never forget their names. Pamela was the daughter, and Faye was the mother, and whoever her husband was. I don't know her husband's name. And she had two poodles, two white poodles, or whatever, and was abused from the baby. And my thing was, as a big sister, I had to protect my brother, whatever. So moving forward, so I failed third grade because the school shut down in the middle of the school year, and so I had to take third grade all over again. And that school was the principal was everything. The principal was Mr. Hagerman. I will never forget him because he was a not so nice person, and he he was the substitute teacher. He was the gym teacher. He, every time I was sick, sometimes I would fake being sick just to go home because I did not like that school. I was always being bullied or whatever. And at that time, the kids made fun of me because I was on Hooked on Phonics. And the teachers didn't help me, and they would make fun of me because I couldn't learn the work. I needed extra help, but they took it as me being lazy and not. So at that time, they didn't understand my disability or whatever. So me schooling, everything was complicated within itself. And then after I got to middle school, kids used to call me Big Nose, Four Eyes, and all, metal mouth. I had braces and stuff like that. Mostly Big Nose and Debo, She-Hulk. Then I started to, be sticking up for myself. Like, started to gain a little muscle, arm wrestle boys or whatever. I'm getting out to the point, but the fact that I felt like after seeing those demon eyes, my childhood has been going down or whatever, and I didn't know that I've now that I know I was cursed since when I started seeing those eyes. And I saw those eyes all the time, and I started hearing more and more voices as I got older. And then when I got into high school, that's when things really went haywire. I got into girls and all this stuff, and I was everything. Oh, girls, but still. And on top of that, um, okay, sorry, I'm back. So my husband had a few questions for me. Um, sorry, I got a little emotional there because thinking back now, um, when God has always been there, and I didn't believe in Him. I didn't believe. I was so caught up in my darkness. So me working, um, oh, so I left off at Amazon Fresh. So when for that first 2 weeks working at Amazon Fresh, sorry, because I keep coming back. So working for Amazon Fresh, the first 2 weeks I got into a car accident. I was taking my daughter to the doctor. She was 7 years old. Um, 7 years old, and at this time, I already was dating my husband now, right? For the first year, I gave him the hard time because at that time I was getting in the middle of the divorce from my first. I'm sorry, he's going back, but at that time, I I was going to the kids headquarters and stuff like that. Not kids headquarters. I'm sorry. That was my. I'm all over the place. So at that time, I met my husband at the time, and I met him on POF, and this was around 2012, Hurricane Katrina time, or Hurricane Sandy, one of them. I think it was Sandy, Hurricane Sandy. It was really bad in New Jersey, but anyway, um, I'm just for this the point of this story. This is like my true testimony that God has always been in my life. So I got into a car accident. The guy behind me wasn't paying attention, so as I was gonna make a left into the doctor's office, he rams my car. My car jumps the curb and hits the doctor's signs, like all the doctors, into a brick wall. Whatever. My car is completely totaled. I called my husband. He couldn't get to me because he called his father to get to me. My father couldn't. So, but we end up going into the ambulance. My daughter jumps out the car. The airbags go off. I'm bruised up or whatever. So all that happened. Long story short, so my husband knew somebody, a lawyer that he was, so he gave me the lawyer's number. So got the lawyer's number. He was able to, we got a case and everything, and I settled whatever. And because I didn't want to get all into that story, so I settled. And this is when I'm working at Amazon. No, it's not. It's not. It's not God of this. It does is not the God of this world is a genius, and that's Satan, Lucifer, the devil, whatever you want to call him. And he got his own people. When he got executed from heaven, you know, 40% or something like that followed him. So those are the fallen angels. They are here, okay, and they have their own. My cat, sorry. They have their own people coming after you. So every time when I say these passages, Psalms 91, Psalms 23, and Psalms 103, okay, I say those every night out loud, okay, and in my prayer, I pray privately. Yes, I do these little prayers with my prayer book for you guys to encourage, just to listen or read or whatever the Bible, because I was deceived. Okay, like I said, I was raised Catholic, and I strayed away from it because how much it was like forced. I didn't like going to church. I didn't like doing that. I didn't, and I took it because I was being bullied, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna. So when I got to high school, I learned my own free will. So at one point, I claimed to be an atheist, and then I started to be more spiritual. I did believe in afterlife and all this stuff, but and when they said reincarnation and all this stuff, I don't, it's hard to believe what to believe now because of deception. And the God of this world is great at deception. And especially if you're not if I didn't know about this. I didn't know the word of God. I didn't know any of it. I didn't read the Bible. I never read the Bible, and everything. And Catholic, we read something else. We had communions and all that stuff. But I did not read the Bible. When I went to church, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't want to be there. So I did not read the Bible until my 37 years of life, until I woke up, until God woke me up. And that's really what it was. And then ever since my childhood, I didn't want to be in this world. The devil was trying to take me out since day one. He cursed me since day one. I felt like he took away my speech and my ability to learn and to have difficulties of learning in school because he knew this day was come when I woke up and I would have been powerful. Okay? And now he can't touch me. I'm not gonna let him deceive me no more. So I asked God, if it's not of you, I rebuke and send you somewhere else. He woke me up. He woke me up. When he woke me up, because, I'm not saying every relationship is good. We had our ups and downs. And I'm sorry, whoever was around me at that time, if I brought any type of negativity or darkness to them because how I was feeling. And but when he woke me up now, and I'm starting to think back and back. He has always been in my life. And I feel like the devil has cursed me since birth. He took away my speech. He took away my how to learn. He took away all of that because he knew what was my purpose already before I knew what was my purpose. And now I'm sharing it with y'all. I'm sharing it with y'all. And ain't nobody gonna tell me now that God isn't real and that he has always been there. And there's certain things that I've gotten out of and I don't know how. And now I think it only could have been one person, one being. And I wished that I had read this a long time ago, but they say that, trial of tribulation, that you have to go through the darkness before you see the light. And I truly, for the 11 and a half years, um I was in that darkness. And when I used to go see my psychiatrist and I asked for help, like, please help me, fix me, why do I feel this way? And they said they couldn't fix me. They just put me with heavy medication. So instead of medication, I was against weed and all that stuff, but I got into weed. Weed was helping, depress a lot of things. It helped depress a lot of stuff. And I didn't know the only thing I needed was to do was just to read this and to let go and let God. And when he woke me up, I was already free with depression. I was getting happy and all this stuff. I had my house, I had my family and stuff like that. But I felt like, I was slowly going back, and God was like, no, you been through too much already. You're not going back. So it's time for me to wake you up, for you to see the truth. So when he woke me up, I saw the truth. And like I said, you are chosen with the red or blue pill. I chose red all the way. And I choose to go through the light. And I saw the light. He showed me, and I choose God only. So when I woke up, I was deceived to be into tarot cards and all that stuff. Chris, this is the somewhere else. And all this time I was trying to take myself out. There is times I'm not, and this is trigger warning for anybody who is going through something. I'm trying to sugarcoat the words for the simple fact that I know these words are very trigger warnings, but I tried to out myself out many times. After school, for whatever reason, I failed. I failed. The last straw was I was in a relationship with my ex husband at the time. My daughter was very young, and our relationship became very toxic. I'm not going to talk about him because I left that past behind me. We had our conversation. We have a very excellent relationship now. But at that time, it was very toxic. And I felt that, my daughter would be better off without me. And I also felt that I was stuck in this world because I had a daughter, because I had responsibilities, and I knew I couldn't out myself because I had to be a mother and be here. And I felt like, why did I have to be here? I don't want to be here, right? That was the devil. That was the demon trying to get me, but God would not allow me to leave this world, would not allow me, because of this purpose now, of 37 years of life, of this purpose now. This is all I do. This is all I do. And this is all I think about now. And I wish I would have known that one time that I was in the mental hospital for 2 weeks, I prayed. The first time I prayed ever, and I forgot what I had. I think I had like a Mary card or something with the passage on the back of it. And I prayed to this card, and I was like, please just allow my husband to come back to me or whatever and stuff like that. And I prayed. And this is the first time I prayed. I was like, I don't know what else to do. I'm in this mental hospital for 2 weeks. I lost a lot of weight. I got down to 170 at that time. I was hitting 200. I was like 180, 190 and at that time, but I got down to 170 before I got to the hospital. I gained all that weight back being in the hospital, and I asked, like, please send my husband back to me and just show me what I did. When I prayed that on that day or whatever, I forgot what day it was. I was in the hospital though. He walked in. I didn't know because at the time we were not allowed to have phone calls or phones or anything like shoelaces or nothing like that. They had one paid phone, and we were only a limited time to make one phone call, and everybody had to share that one phone. So I didn't know he was coming or whatever. He came after he prayed to see me by himself. He said no one told him to come. He had to check on me. And so this is like my first daughter I had, and I so after that, I did the outpatient or whatever. At that time, I met a lot of cute people there. I met a cute people. I had to take anger management regardless of, that I wasn't angry. I was just very emotional. Some people thought I didn't belong there. I just had a really bad broken heart. They diagnosed me with psychosis and very deep depression. So for a long time, although I still had thoughts of outing myself, I'm just going to use those words. I didn't voice that to the people because I didn't want my daughter to be taken away. So when I found out my daughter was, when I found out that the state had temporary custody, when they closed my case, and I didn't know, I worked. I became a CNA, and not CNA, I became a home health aide. I got my father paid for my license. I went to schooling, passed the test, or whatever, and I worked. I worked to keep my mind busy because I didn't want to keep going to the outpatient. I worked, and I worked for 7 days a week. It became 4 days, then 5 days, but it became 7 days a week for 16 hours or more for 2 years. And I worked. But after like 4 or 5 months in of working, the state they I got a call back saying that they closed my case because, and I also went to the mental hospital voluntarily because they told me if I go voluntarily, it won't be on my record. This would be my first attempt and my first warning if I go voluntarily to seek help. So I wanted help, and but they was like, if I go forcefully, this will be on your record, and things would, be a little different. So I went voluntary. So just to get that out there, I went voluntarily. Whatever. So for back, after 4 or 5 months of they closed my case, because and I was behaving and stuff. They put me on very heavy medication though. I was on Seral, Ambien, all these medication that cost like $300 or $400. I can't afford that. Even the hospital was like 4,000 something dollars. Me staying there for just for 2 weeks, and it was crazy. So I had that bill for I don't know where that bill is. I don't even know if it got paid or not. They don't harass me anymore. But anyway, um, I didn't know after they my case got closed. My family came and told me that if you didn't do what you did, I asked my dad to get my bike, and from the basement. But every time I did go down in that basement, I felt off. I was just terrified inside, but I tried not to show my fear. If I didn't do what I did, the state would have taken my daughter. Sorry. The state would have taken my daughter. And my firstborn, she's 13 now. And I broke down because I didn't know. I didn't know. They kept that from me. Um, I can and they said I can see her with family around, right? I didn't know that either. And I could be around her as long as I had family around. So at the time I was staying with my mom, and my grandmother helped me, but she couldn't stay. My grandma was too old, my mom was working, so my daughter couldn't stay with anybody else. She definitely couldn't go with my father at the time. With her father, I mean her father at the time. And everything. And I broke down because I had no idea. I didn't know after they closed my case that the state had temporary custody of my daughter. All because now that I'm looking, the devil was trying to take me out. And I had all these, and I used to get very bad, vivid images, very bad, a lot of things, very bad. Now, if those images God blocks them out, I don't even get those images no more. I don't get those thoughts. I don't get nothing no more. It's totally blocked out, totally blocked out. And now that I have the now that I have this Bible and everything, and I woke up, I thank God every day for that, because He saved me. Truly, He truly saved me. And this is my true testimony. That darkness, I never want to go back there. And ever since then, me, struggling as a single mother at the time and everything, I just didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be here. But I kept pushing myself. I kept, and I tried different jobs. I tried nursing. I failed the test for nursing because I failed the test for nursing. I can't do basic math. I'm sorry. I failed the test for nursing, so I didn't do that. And these are years going on. I I went to school to be a stewardess. I went for Florida for like two months or whatever. I failed the test for that, but it was a good experience. I got to experience all this stuff. I was a mail carrier for about good 3 months. They laid me off because they said that I wasn't putting the mail fast enough, and I was being followed and all this stuff. So that job was not meant for me to be. So, and then after that, I got my CNA license. So, and I was moving back and forth between home health and being a CNA. And then on top of that, I worked at Amazon Fresh. That was probably one of the worst jobs. And when that happened, that was the demon sending me information um, at a young age, and I didn't even know. I didn't know. So when I got to high school, I started to practice witchcraft, and I found like two other friends that were practicing. We had like a symbol, we did a symbol, or we would meet up like times, after school, and to, do these little rituals. And I didn't know. The only thing I did not mess with was the Ouija board. I knew that was like not good. Like I knew that was from watching all the movies and stuff like that. But now it's funny when Toys R Us was a thing, they have it in all different colors and stuff like that. And this I was like, so now looking back into my past and from into now, the devil of the God of this world, Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, it's a genius, pure genius of having all these things being okay, right? And then when it comes to religious in the Bible, you know, it's not a lot of things. People ask. this, like, even with life insurance, I was talking to my grandma, like, not grandmother, my aunt, about, like, if it's something about act of God, some policies won't cover it, right? Like, if you have house insurance or whatever. I was like, what? So I'm thinking, I'm just like, the God of this world is a genius, because we came into this world not knowing and deceived. I grew up Catholic, and that alone, being I went to St. Ladislaus. I was located in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and every Wednesday we will walk to church that was down the block, and we will count our rosemary beads or whatever and do all this stuff. But at the time, I was I was bullied. The teachers bullied me because I had a learning disability. So when I didn't do a test right or fast enough, they would punish me and tell me I couldn't play outside. But at that time, I didn't care not playing outside, because even if I got time to play outside, kids would bully me. They would push me up against the fence, the fence, the wired fence, stuff leaves in my mouth, punch me in my stomach, and then I had to go home with an abusive babysitter, protect my little brother that was 2 years younger than me, and everything. I will never forget. The babysitter was named Pamela. She was a senior in the high school. So this school was between first grade and all the way up to 12th grade. So it was like one big Catholic school. It was like all year round. I fell third grade for staying back, but the teachers never worked with me. They just thought I was, I don't know. So moving forward, when I started to receive these pictures of when I used to hang out with the same people all the time, and we were into the same, like, crystals and being a medium at a young age. Sorry, you hear my daughter in the background. I'm sorry. And father is struggling right now. I want to try to make this real quick. Um, I didn't know that that was the demon telling me the information, what the other person's house was. I'd never been there. I never did anything. And I used to get these really vivid dreams, but I didn't know. I didn't know. So I practiced witchcraft and all that stuff for a while, and I tried to cast spells that the people used to bully me with all the time. I knew to stay away from black magic, but they're all the same. There is no such thing as good witchcraft. There is no such thing as good voodoo. There is no such thing as the Santa Maria. There's no such thing as a good Buddhist. They're all linked to the God of this world is Satan, and he is a freaking genius. I'll let you know that. And he let all this stuff slide. Let it be okay. He's starting to, people who are into tarot cards. I bought tarot cards on my second or third week of my awakening, because I was told to buy tarot cards and go on OnlyFans and do tarot card readings there to save people, right? So I bought tarot cards. I made an OnlyFans account, right? And I was making a logo, right, for spiritual logo with the tarot cards logo in the middle of it, so I can do your tarot card readings and stuff like that, and try to save people from there. I threw them out after I found out. I threw them out because that's not the God I want to follow. That is not. I was deceived. And then falling angels numbers, 222s, 444, all those numbers are falling angels from the God of this world. Don't follow for those. The people on this platform, these witches, they look pretty and everything. They're nice, they're calm. They do these readings. They say you're guarding angels, falling angels, demons from this world. I'm telling y'all now. Um, y'all do what y'all want, but I'm telling you now, I was deceived. Tarot cards, all of that, crystals, it's they make everything look so pretty and calm, and said this is for protection. No, no, and it's not. So this is when I'm working at Amazon Fresh, and at Amazon Fresh, I'm not doing Fresh no more. I just, that was a very stressful job within itself. And working for Amazon, Working for Fresh, that was my first Amazon job, and working for Fresh, I'm not working for Fresh no more. That was a bad experience for me. A lot of the jobs that I did, working, try to be a stewardess, trying to be a mail carrier, and try to be work for Amazon Fresh. So I think it was, yeah, an Amazon Fresh, whatever. And I went back to, wiping butts and stuff like that. But anyway, uh, being a home health aide, you can always find a job. So every time I try to do, find a new career and it didn't work out, I always had a backup, which was my CNA, not CNA, but home health aide license. And then later on, I got my CNA license. And I didn't want, and I was still in a lot of darkness still. I just, working, all I did was work. And I sacrificed so much. As a mother, you sacrifice so much. You don't get the chance to really enjoy life, right? Because you trying to provide. And actually, me being a single mother at that time, whatever, and trying to do my very best, but also feeling the fact that I'm stuck here because I have to be a mother, right? I don't want to be here, right? That was my mentality for a very long time. Let's move forward. So after my car accident, I settled. The lawyer got us the money. Um, but my first thought, because I told my daughter, we're gonna get a house. We're gonna get out of my mom's house. We're gonna get a house. I told her that. I was like, and I would used to show her pictures. We used to go house hunting and all this stuff. The lawyer came through and I got this house. And then when I woke up and realized and was reminiscing on my past, I realized that God got me this house and to save me because I felt like He knew that I tried to better myself. I tried so hard. So when I realized, I got down on my knees in front of my house today and I prayed to Him and I said, thank you. I told Him, thank you for getting me this house and for putting a roof over my family's head, because I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I told my daughter, we were going to get this house. And I thank God every day for this house now. He woke me up. So I ain't going to tell me God saved my life many times and I didn't know. God made things happen for me in my life and I didn't know until now. I didn't know until now. So I prayed it and thank Him every day. Every day I thank Him, because if it wasn't for Him, I don't know where I would be. I don't know if I would be here, but I'm thankful that I have my life. I have my children. I'm thankful for my husband for being my rock, for in dealing with me in my darkest hours, in my darkest times, for being my rock. And I truly believe that God put Him in my life for a reason. And He saved me. God saved me. And now I'm trying to return the favor and trying to get His word out. And this is me. And the devil don't like that. Because when I started reading this Bible, I would get tired. I start to yawn, but I will try to fight through that. When I listen to the audible on my dash, I will get tired behind the wheel, even trying to doze off. And I'm like, I gotta fight this. And I fight this. So y'all ain't gonna tell me God ain't real. And not to get emotional on y'all, but that's true. That is my true testimony. I was a little afraid to say it at first, but maybe some of y'all need to hear it. Some of y'all need to hear it because that is my true testimony. That how God came into my life, but He had never left. He never left. He never left. So by seeing these falling angel numbers, that's demonic. I was seeing falling angel numbers. That's demonic. I did yoga. That's demonic. I was burning sage into crystal. That's demonic. Tell you the God of this world is a freaking genius. So everybody's doing tarot cards. If you don't know, that is demonic. And if you're getting all these information, that's demonic. If you know, then I'm staying away from it. There's a lot of mediums and tarot card readers. There's one not a few miles away, and they try to, and I feel the attention like, come in here. No, I'm not going to no crystal ball. I'm not going to no tarot card reading. I'm not going to no medium. I'm not going to none of y'all. I'm not talking to no dead. I'm not. Y'all talk to the dead. That's demonic. No one talks to the dead. Okay, it says it in the Bible that if you talk to the dead, it's demonic. You are being stoned to death. Like, we don't live in those type of times now, but still, y'all be careful out there. The God, even meditation. You gotta be careful if you meditation and it leads to channeling. That is demonic. Meditation, all of that. I was meditating, like trying to meditate, talking, third eye, all that stuff. Nobody. No, that's demonic. I didn't know. I didn't know until I just learned just now. Like, and I had to tell y'all. I had to tell y'all because some of y'all don't know. A lot of us don't know. We are deceived. The God of this world is a freaking genius. He will bless you or give you what you want until, and then drain you and then take your life. Because he doesn't want you to find the light. He wants you to stay in the darkness. And that misery light company, that is real. That is real. So be careful who you surround yourself with because that darkness is real. I want it out of my darkness. Okay. That darkness is real. I feel like he took away everything from me. And that's real. Uh, a little side joke. My husband's like, "How did you make it in life?" I was like, "I don't know." But still, um, learning was difficult for me in school. Hooked on phonics, being in special ed classes throughout my whole school year, taking speech, being dyslexic, not able to understand and comprehend certain words, having problem of pronunciation. Sorry, I had to do like the syllable things to and to learn, just to learn was very complicated for me. Okay, and I was afraid of that coming on here to read my prayers because I knew my reading is not very good. Okay, but I do it anyway because to encourage other people, if you are going through anything, learning disability, anything, it is you can find your light and your happiness as well, and it doesn't have to be the end. Don't let the devil get you. Don't let the devil win. I was ready to give up and let the devil win, but God said no. I have something else important for you to do. I have a purpose, and I know my purpose now. I know my purpose now, y'all. I know my purpose now. And I'm here today to tell y'all. I'm I don't know why he chose me. I don't deserve to be woken up after. I'm thinking about all the things that I have done in the past, and I'm sorry. But he have chosen, he has forgave me, and I forgave myself. And I'm happy. I can tell you I am not longer depressed, but I had to let y'all know that is demonic, and the God of this world is a genius, and he's deceiving everybody. As soon as I prayed, he came. That was the first, and I didn't realize God was showing me that prayer really works. But after I got out, everything went back. I forgot about the whole prayer thing. I lost my card. After I lost my card, whatever, I had the Maria with the halo on it, um, Mary on it. Um, and I had a little passage. I forgot what it was. And that's the card. And I was like, I can't find this card. I lost that card. I don't know where it went. So I felt like I lost everything at that time. So, and they were telling me, do I hear voices? I was like, do I want to tell them that I hear voices? So I did. I told them about my imaginary friend called Raphael, which I learned now that I took notes that he is an angel, an archangel. I took my notes. He's an archangel. Um, or whatever. I didn't know I was preparing him. Raphael is my favorite Ninja Turtle. He is Raphael is my favorite. I find him so. No, I'm not into bestiality or anything. I was so obsessed with Raphael. Raphael was my favorite Ninja Turtle. So I created Raphael to be my imaginary friend, and I talked to him. This may sound crazy to y'all, but I talked to him, and oh God, my husband's text me. I'm in the other room, and I talked to him. Sorry, I had a ton of seconds, and um, I it was, and I told them. So they diagnosed me with. Sorry, I got sidetracked. They diagnosed me with psychosis. I didn't tell them about the other voices I was hearing, or do it, do I? And I can't tell them that I. And at that time, um, this is really hard for me to say, because it's very emotional. But for you guys to hear like how important this is. Dyfus came into my life because I try to help myself. So I didn't know that the state had temporary custody of my daughter, right? And after I got out of the hospital for 2 weeks, I had to do outpatient for like 3 months, and I wasn't allowed to see my husband at the time, and everything, because he was the main source of a lot of things. But I'm not going to talk bad about him, okay? So I'm not going to get into details of what he did or whatever. But he was the main source of to a lot of my. One more thing about that lawyer who settled, and I was able to buy this house. After I bought this house a year, a year prior, a year already has passed. The lawyer disappeared. He said he disappeared. I haven't heard from him ever. Like, I couldn't go back to him. I couldn't. The lawyer disappeared. That is very bizarre. He did what he needed to do for me, or whatever, whoever clients he had. And after my case was settled and I was able to do what I needed to do with the money that I got, um, whatever. And me and my husband, we were getting engaged to get married, and people asked us, if you settle, what are you going to do with the money? We both agree we're getting a house. We're not paying for a wedding. I was like I did wanted a big wedding, but we settled for a court side wedding and invested the money into buying a house for our family. And that's what we did. We chose a house over a wedding. And I feel like that was the best decision I made, because a wedding, what is a wedding? Is for everybody else to enjoy your happiness and your loved ones. And you pay for all of this stuff for a 1 or 2 time event. In the Bible, they celebrate a wedding for like weeks, or, a whole week or whatever. They keep partying and stuff like that. But no, yeah, I was like, nah. Maybe later down the line, if we decide to renew our vows, then we can do something like that. But we decided to have a house. But after a year of purchasing the house, the Lord disappeared, and I was told that he got married, and he found a new purpose, and he's not a lawyer anymore. He went back to school and all this stuff, and yeah, so I found that very bizarre. I was like, what? The lawyer is not a lawyer no more? I kid you, I'm not making this up. That I had to say this because after what he did, he wasn't a lawyer no more. He disappeared. I didn't hear from him again. Nothing. He was just, the office is not there no more. He moved all his stuff out the office. Everything. What? I couldn't get in contact with him. And sometimes, they said angels appear very differently. I don't know if he was or wasn't, but I just found it bizarre that he just disappeared, no office, no nothing, and he gone. He disappeared. He gone. I don't know where that lawyer is no more.